and your bachelor's, and how close are you to that dream job now? Yes. Do you want to start?
Hello, good evening everyone. Good evening. And Om Shanti means the greetings of peace to all of you. So as a child, I didn't want to study much. This is opposite to what I have attained. Like I've done my PhD in biotechnology, but I always dreamt of being a fashion designer, something like that. On the contrary, but the Indian families and the Indian upbringing, they want their children to study and focus on the study, and they say the rest is just additional. It's
Extra
inculcated as a hobby.
Yes.
So because of that peer pressure or from the society, you just go in one direction even if you're not willing to. So yeah, this is how my childhood was, and I think some of you can relate being from the Indian background. But now, as she said, after doing PhD in biotechnology, I'm pretty satisfied working in a medical device consultancy as a scientific expert. So, yeah, I'm glad to be here in Germany and amongst you.
Thank you. Do you want to add more here?
Namaste everyone. So happy Women's Day to everyone. In my childhood, I was little bubbly and happy girl, go with the flow. I never had very big ambition or anything. Whenever someone used to ask me, what do you want to become? I used to say, I would like to become a mom. Later in my college days, I always, maybe in high school level, in PU level, I felt I want to become a teacher. And I inspired from my teachers. And today, I instruct yoga and I'm a teacher too. Then later part of my degree completion time, my father, he wanted to make me marry and get settled. That was in 2003 or 4. But whatever may be the reason, I had 1 year gap. In that moment, I was like a little bit, my brain started working, and I thought, no, this is not enough my career or something. So to help my personal life as well as my professional life, I thought, let me do post-graduation degree in yogic science. It's basically therapy field, and that's when I got into my master's degree. Meanwhile, when I was in 3rd year, I got married, and I discontinued my 3rd semester, and I went to US, and there being on H4, I realized, no, sitting inside the house, it is not easy. And always, yes, my mom, she had, whenever I used to tell to become a mom, no, she was not happy and she was not satisfied with this answer, because she was already playing this role as being mom.
Yes.
And financially independent also equally important by that time. And later I continued my studies with the help of my husband and went back to India and finished my 4th semester. That's when I realized the completion of a degree is equally important. Then in 2011 I moved to Germany. Then I started my career. Then I felt financially I need to be a little more stable. That took long time. Since last year, December, I started working full-time as a finance analyst. That's how my journey went through, and I could achieve being mom, being lovely wife, being a teacher, and now independent woman too. That's all my story.
Hello everyone. Hello. Happy Women's Day. So my journey starts from India. I come from New Delhi, and my father was a respected teacher, so I just want to follow his footstep, and I wanted to be a teacher as well. But as time has changed, and I studied as a teacher, as a nursery teacher's training. I did 2 years course, and I did my work one year before my marriage, and then I got married to a German national, but his father is coming from India, so my husband is born and brought up here in Germany, but he's half Indian. So when I moved to Germany in 2007, at that time there's a very challenging for me to learn German and to work in Germany. Yes. It's a really difficult language. I'm still learning. Yeah. And now it's been 17 years here. Yeah, I have 3 kids. My daughter is sitting there. She's there in hijab. Then when I got married here, I got 3 kids, and I was always in home, and I want to do something for me only. My husband has a business here. He has 3 shops, textile shops here. He always used to say, yeah, go to my shop and look after the shop. I said, no, this is not for me. I want to do something for me. So I asked in my daughter's kindergarten to do work with them without experience, but they said no. First you have to learn German, and then you have your certificates are not accepted here. You need to do again the courses here in German language. I said no, it takes a lot of time, and my age was at that time is 24, and I said no, this is not for me, and I want to do something else. Then my hobby was in beauty and skincare and all. I said okay, let's do something in beauty. And then I started from home. I made a Facebook page, and I started in a very small scale, like facials and threading and all. I started like this. And then after 6 months, I said, okay, let's do something in a bigger level, because my husband is in this business industry, and he knows everything here in Germany. I don't know. He takes take care of my everything, taxes and all. So he said, okay, I will open for you a shop, and you can learn professionally these things. I said, okay, then I start learning, first of all, little German. I did some German courses in 2013. I did the German courses until B1. And then I did the license here, the driving license. And then I started this business, and at that time, I started on a very small scale. I learned fibros that you have mentioned also in your fixed thing, and it is like a semi-permanent makeup for eyebrows. And then slowly, I got to know about these things about these beauty industries, what is going on. They're like brow lamination and the eyebrow thing, everything, powder brows and henna brows and all. And slowly I did courses, and now I have at least I think 20 certificates. I'm still learning, and my next course will be in May. I'm going to learn in Luxembourg for 2 days, and this is also in the permanent makeup thing. So that's all. I'm here. I'm running this business since 2017 professionally, and it's my story.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I think as a kid, I just had a lot of weird ambitions, but the strongest one was that me wanting to be a politician. And then I think when I was in 5th grade, my dad just ended up showing me one of the parliamentary sessions where, like, it was so embarrassing with politicians yelling at each other, the leaders of our nation, and like disrobing themselves to make a point. I was like, no, not really, that's not what I want to do. And then I realized when I grew up, I was just mostly a non-conformist, and I didn't want to do what everyone was doing. I told my parents I wanted to study fashion design, but my parents were like, "Oh, we're actually from a very humble background, so you need to have a lot of influence, know people, for example, in Bollywood, to be a really good fashion designer." It's like, okay, fine, I'll just do engineering. It was either fashion design or physics, so so I was doing my bachelor's in civil engineering in India, and I realized, okay, well, buildings, they're not my thing, but I was really interested in environment and I mean, doing something that would be useful for the world. And so I kind of enrolled myself in a lot of programs, and that time, you know, this whole climate change debate started, and I was working with the British Council as an international climate champion. And then I knew, okay, fine, I'm definitely going to pursue a career related to environment and so on. I really knew that I wanted to travel the world and experience different things, and I decided to come to Germany because I got a scholarship to do my master's here from the ministry, the BMBF, and so after I completed my master's, I was like, now what? And suddenly I was just thrown an opportunity in Tanzania, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And everyone was like, oh, you have to get a corporate job, and I was like, no, I'm going to work for school sanitation and toilets in Tanzania. My parents were like, okay, sure, why not? So that's where I think my career started. It's been a really long and tiring career, especially as a woman of color in development. I just felt that no white person got questioned, like, what are you doing in Tanzania working in development? But me as an Indian, they're like, what are you doing here? Why are you here? And I just asked them back, like, why are you here? My interest was to work in East Africa, so I'm just trying to do my best here. Yeah, and then on, I just tried to navigate through different positions, and I currently work for the UN Habitat here in Bonn, under a program called GWOPA. It's working with global water utilities and trying to partner them. So working with a lot of ministries, at the end of the day, I think it's quite a bit of politics as well. So my dream sort of came true.
Yeah. So everyone mentioned where they started and how they ended up what they're doing now. So in this journey, starting from what you wanted to be and what you decided to be, and eventually where you are right now, you may have definitely faced challenges. And what are the challenges you faced, and what steps you took to overcome these? And in this journey, who helped you? People, it could be a man or a woman, but who helped you and in what ways? There could be a good influence, there could be a negative influence that may have led you to take this step. So you can mention both.
Beautiful answer, but I think life is full of challenges. I mean, it's not a bed of roses for everyone, but it's the way how we see it at the end of the day. So as I said, after doing my PhD, when I was searching for a job in India, I applied for also the permanent residency in Canada. So in 2015, I moved to Canada, and in 2017, when I came to Germany, so moving to Canada with so many dreams that I would, get something. It's a foreign country. You come with lots of aspirations, but when you actually land in a foreign country, there are so many challenges, as you say, right? And then coming to Germany, 2017, and as my first job I remember was as a Hatha yoga teacher. I can relate to her. I mean, I was a health freak into yoga, and then My second job here was which I still do, is in Frankfurt University of Applied Sciences as a assistant professor for the graduate biochemical engineering students, but I do it as a special guest. So, but that was not a full job. They just invited me for like once per quarter. So again, a challenge of not getting a full-time job, all the gradations. Then finally I got a full-time job. But while going through all these challenges, one thing that kept me motivated, coming to your question, or one thing that kept me positive was my practice of meditation. Despite of doing Hatha Yoga, the Rajayoga which I was doing, it's the challenge is outside. It's how you perceive a challenge. It's like the glass is half full or half empty, depends on how you look at it, right? So even whilst coming here, let us take today's example. There was a strike, right? And no doubt, first of all, the thought came, oh my God, how is it going to happen? But immediately, when your mind is in that state of awareness and your mind is a little bit slow, the answers come up. You don't become problem-centric, but you become solution-centric. So this is what is keeping me motivated and keeping me moving in this journey. People say you do a full-time job, you have a personal life, how do you sail through? But my only answer is the practice of meditation helps. It really helps.
In 2011, I landed here in Germany. By that time, I had 2 kids. My little one was around 6 months old, my son. Today he is 12 years old in 7th grade, and my daughter is 14 years old. And as soon as we landed here, everything was new for us as a family, because we had seen the creamy layer of US. We had been there 6 long years, and everything was like 24/7 was our life. And here, Sunday, as you see, it's like nothing you can see here. The life was totally different, and buying a liter of milk was also very hard on Sundays here. They at midnight, 2 o'clock, after the party, after the get-together, we used to go and bring gallon of milk instead of a liter of milk. So there is a lot of comparison, our lifestyle there and here. And of course, kids were small, and language, first thing. Second thing is commuting here and there, how to go, where to start. Very first, in the beginning, whom do you talk? With whom do you share your thoughts or any feelings? And slowly, I started, talking with the parents of my kids' age, where they started going to kindergarten or something like that. Then my question was how to start my yoga thing. It's practice of asanas was different, and the practice of yogic lifestyle is different. The lifestyle was inherent with me by then, because it was 2004, 3 and 4 I did my master's degree. So by then it was inherent in me. So keeping myself calm, be patient, and go and interact with the people, integrate with the people. Then in 2016, by the time my kid started going to first grade, then I started my yoga practice with, initially it was self-practice, then I started with my neighbors and with fellow moms. And you cannot expect any financial benefits by this actually, but it gave me the confidence and the motivation to move forward. Then slowly I started, then within the radius I started going and teaching, and without any expectation, without any penny, but my commitment and dedication paid the difference later on. Then I started driving. Then officially in 2016, professionally I started my Hatha Yoga teacher or instructor. I did not continue in the therapy field, because again, the studying, it never ends there, and going to clinic, or I have not done my research in therapy field at all, because it was not permittable for me to travel, because my husband was already in the business trips, and taking care of two kids was not easy by then. Then slowly I started my journey 2016, but still today also I continue. I take, after Corona it is decreased, I take weekly 2 to 3 classes, depends on the number of participants. But no matter what, you don't stop yourself. That is the only key word I used to follow. And the second thing is, there is one Bhagavad Gita shloka. Karmani vadikharasi ma phaleshu kadachana. Do not expect any result. You may not get anything. Sometimes, you may feel bad. By the end of the day, it's not the money, it's the self-satisfaction. That's when I started integrating with the people. You won't believe, after yoga session or after some time, they just text you, Swathi, because of you, today I'm very happy. Yesterday's class was this is the result what I get. I don't get paid much, that is totally fine. But the self-satisfaction and how you can carry a smile on your face, that's what matters. That's what matters.
What was the question?
So it was about the challenges.
The challenges, yeah.
throughout the journey.
So adjusting in a new country like Germany, the biggest challenge was the language problem. So first 5-6 years, मैं सिर्फ बच्चे पाल रही थी. बच्चे पैदा किए और पाले. I mean, first 5-6 years, when I came to Germany in 2007, I got pregnant the second month. And I got my first child in 7th month. I mean, he was a premature baby. And after 1 year, I got my daughter. So they were like twins. Yeah. And it was really hard for me to take care of small children alone. My in-laws were there, but they were all busy in their, they have a business, family business. So they are all busy in their work. So I was alone at home, always crying, missing my family. And it was the biggest challenge for me. And then, the support, you also asked the supportive thing. Video banana papa ko dikhana.
So she wants to take a video so that she can show it to her father.
So please make a video to show your father that
Show it to her
my husband was the biggest support for me. Financially, emotionally, and he encourages me. All the courses what I did, all the courses were in German language. So I understand 80%. I don't understand. 20% what I see, I just adopt these things. So, but he was there for me every time, and he encourages me. And the courses was not so cheap. Like they were really, really expensive. But he said, okay, no, don't worry. I give you the money. The first course was about 4,000 euros. He said, are you sure you are going to do this course? I said, yes, I can make it. He said, okay, no problem. If you're sure, I will be there for you every time. So he gave me the money, and I did the course, and I passed in 3 months. And yes, he was there, and he is there still. And I'm doing again this course, again for the, not the fibros, but for the eyebrows, different technique, the permanent makeup. And it's also very expensive, and he's giving me the money for this. He's still there.
I think as opposed to the West, the South Asian culture is very closely knit. We all want to be dependent on each other and so on. So we're not really taught how to face the real world and really go into this independent mode. I think people here, like in Germany, you have a lot of opportunities. You can travel, you can skip a semester, do do all of that, and such ideas were really new and also radical within the Indian community, I would say. Like when my friends were getting married, I was just backpacking in a random village in Africa with no money. So I think the fire in yourself to prove that you don't have to be a conformist and is probably what that drove me. And I'm very thankful for my family because they never said no to what I wanted, which means that I could experiment doing things. And then once, of course, I had the fear when I had my first visa stamped to a random country, and I was traveling alone from Germany, and the lady saw my passport and she was like, "Oh, sorry, you can't board the flight because you don't have a visa." I was like, "I'm pretty sure I Googled for hours saying that visa on arrival, so you have to let me go." And she was like, "No, she can't do that." And I don't know where I got the courage from. I was like, "I need to speak to your manager right now, because if you don't let me in the flight, I'm going to create a big hassle. I don't care about it." She's like, "Oh, I'm just scared I lose my job." "Then go do your job." Like, I didn't know how I could speak like that, but it's just the adrenaline that comes into probably. And so I think navigating through a career where most of your colleagues are probably like Caucasian men has been really challenging, but I realized like I have to speak out and not be scared. I mean, there's nothing to be scared of when you're like right there doing something. You just gain experiences out of it, and that's how you build your confidence to go through a lot of things. There were a lot of scary faces. I did a lot of things probably Indian women would never do, but my family has always been on my side. I was even pregnant without getting married. But I think when you have the confidence or the valor to go against every battle, I think you can do it, and people will accept you for it. And that's how you gain the respect of people, being a woman in the world. I would say that even if a lot of women, especially South Asian women or women from the global south, they're just scared of this whole cultural thing that is pulling them back. But don't tolerate anything and just go ahead and do what you want to do. I know it's difficult, you will fail, people will look down upon you, but someday, somewhere you'll get there. And I strongly believe that it's possible for everyone. Thank
you. Everyone did mention their challenges and how they overcame it, but some of you missed what I really asked, how men influenced. You didn't answer it, but how men and women both separately, how men and women particularly influenced your journey.
Or should I say positive or a negative?
You can choose one.
Because out of some pressures also you tend to go towards a positive direction, right? But no, that was a funny part. Actually, I've been lucky in getting a very cooperative parents and a very cooperative husband. But if you are asking how the men have influenced, first I'll go to the women, because my mother has been really supportive in whatever I do, and she really supports me till date. I mean, and they really appreciate, because you don't understand through words, but you understand through the change that you incorporate in yourself. So if I tell them that I'm practicing this and you should also do, or this is a good one, nothing like that. But if they see certain changes in me, then they really validate you, you're on the right journey. So that way they have been really understanding, they have been really cooperative. And when I started with even my meditation journey, they were like, I belong to Brahma Kumaris, and some of you might be familiar with Sister Shivani. So it is one of the largest women-led organization affiliated to United Nations. United Nations has organized this Women's Day. So having said that, there are many things in the society about Brahma Kumaris. Still, my parents really had a confidence in me, both my mother and father, and over a period of time, when you practice something, it should bring about a change in you. It should not be just in words or in written somewhere. You just go and listen and okay, that's it. Bahut acha laga, it was very peaceful and you're back. The same. But when they started to look at the changes, so they kind of supported me even more. So that way they have helped me in this journey too.
Yes.
And when I started my journey, my husband was not into it. He was like giving me all the space. You do whatever you want. You should be happy. You should be, because I was doing my PhD and it's a long study. And I don't know if you all know. But over a period of time, a little bit of stress starts building up. So I was like getting into overthinking mode, or sometimes getting some negative thoughts, and my husband was observing all these changes, getting sensitive about small things. Why did he spoke to me like that, or she, when I moved into the room, she was looking, all these small issues. So with the practice of meditation, he also started to observe a little, I was becoming more carefree and more, happy. So all of these things, these changes actually led those people to support me in my journey of what I am doing today.
That indeed is a good support.
It's been 18 long years I have been married. So, all my siblings and family are back in India. So, whole and soul is for me, my husband, and my kids here. Because whoever can be moral support and motivation and whatever it may be, but physical presence and their helping and their support is much needed. And of course, it was not easy, as he was very career-oriented and focused in his work, and he always wanted a supporting wife and supporting mom for him personally. And later, he could understand my vibes and my feelings. And more than working, for me, I need people. I need to talk to people. No matter whatever I know, I need to share. That's how I was. He was very clear about that. Financially, I don't need anything because I don't ask for it. Before I ask for it, he used to deliver or support to me. If I'm not big fan of any gadgets or anything, but before I ask, I get it. Sometimes I even doesn't know which model of iPhone I have, and my daughter answers for it. That's how it is. So basically, he still says, smartphone for smart people. You don't use it wisely. And I drive good car, and you don't use the all features. Car is for you. For me, drive, reach the destination. I'm done with the car. I am such kind of person. But slowly he understood the value for a woman, what they want, and he was not directly or indirectly he was supporting. That was good enough for me because I was hesitant to ask. I was hesitant to go forward. I had my own shelter. To break that and to come out, I took a really long time because I married in 2005 December. In 2016, officially, I started when my daughter was in first grade. No, where we live, I need to integrate. I started my B1 level of language. Meanwhile, I started doing yoga asanas and I started learning my driving, everything. Of course, my family, sister, my mother is a homemaker, but my sister is working, and my brother's wife, they are working. And they always wanted me to work because I had my own potential where it was not utilized fully. They were seeing that loophole because when we moved to US it was an H4, you cannot work and something like that, but indirectly they were motivating. Of course, some of my friends who are here also, Swathi, you can do it, you should do it, like that. But initially I started my still now instruct yoga in the evenings because I should not disturb my family in the daytime. That's how I took my call, and sometimes I take morning sessions because that doesn't disturb my family. That's how we continue. Of course, when we leave our family back in India, it's a whole and soul, our spouse or our partner. That is what more important. Of course, my kids also, because they feel proud when their mom is in that situation. True. Exactly. That you should see, especially if girls express this thing. Mom, wow, yeah. I'm happy. I'm really proud of you. And initially when I was tired and I used to go and pick her up, you won't believe she used to tell, Mama, can you put some makeup on your face? Because the moment I started doing this, they started, wow, Mama, you're looking pretty. Yeah. And slowly that started with my son also. So, when we leave our family, so only 4 of us or 3 of us or 5 of us, the small family is mattered a lot. Yeah. Because they are support. Now today, if I don't cook, they don't ask for it. Yeah. Even husband or kids, or they do it. And they say, you don't worry, I'll finish it. Yeah. But still, we do our part. Yeah. So morning 5, today the day started at 5 o'clock for me. I cook, I work, and I started here. And today while driving, he was telling, you're supposed to go by train today. Because today is Bonn drive. Yes, but still I could drive today because I told her, because we are almost reaching our destination in new places, because to find the parking I avoid driving. Because I can't leave my car here and there and get the fine later. No, I am not into that. That's when I told he drove till here. Such a wonderful person. It's very nice caring. I do not express, as she told, we take the benefits from them and we don't express, it is taken for granted. But really, men play a biggest role in our life. Doesn't matter husband, brother,
support,
exactly,
achievable goals.
And father, whoever it is. When their daughter is in a good place or their wife is in a good place, they are the happiest soul in the life. That's what I feel.
Shobana.
इससे ज़्यादा तारीफ नहीं कर सकती। इससे ज़्यादा उन्हें हजम भी नहीं होगी।
I think here gender really doesn't play a role because there were like awful women and great men in my life. So I think I overtalk to my male friends, especially the ones I've had in Germany. Like they've been so caring because they were back then, like 13 years ago when I was doing my master's here, there weren't a lot of women. Of course there were, but significantly more male students than female students in tech. And I remember like some of my friends like helping me get ready for an interview. Like there was one dude who was just like ironing my clothes, and then the other one who was making sure that my tickets were printed and I had to travel to an interview. So I've had a lot of really good friends, I would say, and family has always been supportive. My dad has never like questioned my choices. He's like, okay, just do what you want. I think my aunt had a more prominent role in shaping my professional life, and she's also been very supportive. And my mother would think about my choices, but she really understands. She's like, okay, my experiences and my life is different from yours, so I totally understand from where you come from. She's gotten to the point of understanding that, okay, this generation gap exists and I should kind of be in line with it. And I think when it comes to my husband, he just recently we were in Cameroon, where he comes from, and he comes from a very traditional West African family. But not once did he sort of like shy away from doing stuff he would do. Like, I didn't see men from his family, like cooking or bathing the baby. We have a 1-year-old, and he would just like randomly walk into the living room and start bathing my 1-year-old girl. And his dad was like, "Oh, you're bathing the child?" He's like, "Yeah, you have a problem." And even now, I'm just here attending an event, and he's just babysitting, playing with my our child. So I think he's also been my biggest support, and he's he's always like, "Oh, do your work, don't worry. If I'm not working, I'll take care of the baby." Or he's even like, "Oh, I think I just should have gotten more Elton side. Now I've learned my lesson. If we have more kids, then I'll take 1 year, because the UN doesn't give the German maternity leave. We only had, it was 4 months, and then it was increased to 6 months. I was really lucky to go into the 6-month phase. So I feel even in Germany, where everything is much better in terms of gender equality, there is a lot of disparity between, the gender gap still exists. There are not a lot of men taking Elton side, or men do get paid more than women in a lot of cases. And in my previous company, that's GIZ, the German Development Agency, there was a study that was done internally, and they realized that, okay, the male-female pay gap was actually like 35%, which was really shocking. So it still exists everywhere. I mean, of course, it's been thrown at you since you're Indian, so because you've been navigating through this very traditional paradigm of gender policing and saying what men and women should do. But it does exist everywhere, maybe in a subtle way. And I think it's just about not looking at it from a stereotypical perspective, but from your own learnings, and then navigating towards what you want to do is important. Yeah.
That's great. So I do have specific questions for each of these panelists, but before that, do you, from the audience, anyone has any questions? Anything related to today's day, or maybe to someone in particular? No?
So, I would like to ask one question.
Yes, sir.
A couple of them actually, but my question is to you that how did you find the patience, to wait so long? First, you took a break from your studies, then you took care of your family, because my wife is going through a similar phase. She has taken a break from her job, and that patience is really required when you do such a thing, and it takes years and years. As I can see that, if we embark on that journey, it's going to take a long time. But
First, let's appreciate her for asking question for her on behalf of her, his wife.
Yes.
So let's appreciate that.
Actually, it's 50% patience is inherent. First thing I'll tell you. The second thing is, don't react. Don't react. Sometimes, it is too much. I mean, this is not for you, I'm telling it's for your wife. Don't react. Certain time, you say to yourself, and she be the better person, keeping calm and meditating yourself. Do not respond immediately. Take your own time. And for everything, patience and passion. That two things, it will keep going. Of course, it took time, over a period of time. If you have that will, no matter what, one day you will achieve for sure. You won't believe, 2018, just before Corona, I started doing my B2 level. That's when I started. I went to one of my husband's friend's place at Hamburg. The first time I am meeting all of them, but I have heard them since long. These are all good old friends. I know them, but I have never met them first. But all their wives had started working then. Then I thought, yogic science and yoga is my background, and which, to be frank, financially you cannot be independent in this. So it's kind of passion and hobby, and yeah, you will earn certain things, but being in Germany, the tax class is totally different.
Yes.
Being in a freelancer, you pay hell lot of money every penny you earn, unless you are officially unlimited or registered in the freelancing sector. That's when I started learning again. I have done my SAP course in material management to get into the independent sector. Then, if you change your career, it's not easy again to get into the market. When you guys are here with such a wonderful degree holders, and I'm changing from yoga to logistics sector, it's not easy again. So I have done my certification again, because everybody see yoga, everything. It's not. Again, meanwhile, I'm very active in our cultural sector, because in women's section, or we have our community. Everywhere I'm very active. Recently, we had kept one food stall in Christmas market in Leverkusen area. I was part of that event too. And every day we cook, and I used to be part of that stall, and it was not the first time. We had kept a couple of other places too, along with my other friends, and but still something was bothering me. I used to apply for my jobs again. In that time, this job where I started working now in December, it got clicked, but I was hesitant to accept that, because I was committed here in the stall full time. You need to cook, you need to stand, because it's morning 11 to evening 10 o'clock. Again, they're also patients. You keep calm. But my husband was hesitant to accept the new job. And I told, still I get some money, still I can hire a person, though it is lost. But getting a job is not easy at all. So I accepted it. It took 20 long. In 2003, I have done my bachelor's degree. In 2023 December, I got my first job, and seeing my first salary was, I don't know how to see my bank account also. With that I told, and he told, you could face it to see the first, I want 4-digit number. It was so happy. It's never end. It's never late to start anything. I don't know how old is your wife. I'm 41 now. I celebrated my 40th birthday very grandly with 70 wonderful ladies in Leverkusen area, because as I told, I am a little bit friendly with everyone. And I didn't have that guts to share, but I had my inner feeling. My 41st birthday, I need to get my job. God heard my voice. Just 15 days. December 11th I joined. January 7th was my birthday. I got my first salary. So I was so happy. Never late to start anything. You can start, especially when we are in such a country. You can. Still in India, I don't know, it's very hard to get the job, because there are a lot of freshers coming out, and they do better job than me. And where I work, I see 30 years old young kids. They have a lot of energy. They go for smoke. After that, they smoke. They are not that fast, but still I can do something. So still she has a time. Still she can start. That's the only thing I can say. I don't know. I answered your questions for the
I'll ask her to
patients.
get in touch with you.
That's how it is. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. So I particularly have a question for Dr. Pratibha. So just like she answered, even you had two different career and also your something that you did for your passion. So how did you find a balance between these two fields?
You mean practicing meditation and doing a full-time job? Yeah. I think I mentioned it before already that people say for meditation you have to really take some time out and you have to really abandon all the things and get into it. But actually, practice of meditation saves a lot of time and energy. It saves a lot of time and energy. So that's the key, which helps you to invest the saved time into your profession and your personal life. So in that way, it itself helps in balancing the both. Yeah. So, as you know, as a kid, we were reading the book. I personally had the experience. I was reading the book and I was reading it 2 times, 3 times, but my mind was somewhere else. But when your mind becomes clear, when your mind becomes focused, just at a glance, you just go through it and you go in the exam and it comes up very naturally. Because the clutter here is not that much. So the point is, when you start practicing it, it saves a lot of your waste. We call it a lot of waste going on here. So yeah, that helps in balancing both aspects.
To Fatema ma'am, आपके लिए question. Okay. So establishing a business in Germany must be difficult. You already mentioned that your husband did support it, but what else was a major concern while establishing a business here as a woman?
As a woman, I mean, in beauty industry, everyone, 90% are women. So there was not a big challenge doing this beauty things. But yes, the rules and regulations here in Germany is a little bit different than in India. My husband, again, he knows everything, and we did some insurance for example, if I do something wrong with the treatment, like I do skin treatments as well. So if I do something wrong, so there must be some insurance to cover everything. Or if I do something wrong with some people have allergies on their if I do something for the eyebrows, for the eyebrow lamination or lash lamination, if something went wrong, then there is something, some insurance to cover everything. So these were the things, and my husband take care of everything. Yeah? And what else I want to ask?
That's we are very close to ending the panel discussion, so I have one more question to Shobana. Having experience in traveling for work a lot, how did you manage that too in developing countries, I believe, not fully developed countries? So how did you see the role of women in current evolving? Yeah.
I think women have always been strong. Gender really plays a very mainstream role in development right now. Everywhere you go, be it health, be it financing, be it water, be it any of the sustainable development goals, there's gender being integrated by all governments and the work they do. I think it's really about, really about going beyond, I would say, decolonizing our efforts, because a lot of these gender roles probably came into play with the old colonial laws, which probably the colonizers have abandoned before, but we still work with these. And it's really nice to go to, let's say, Uganda, and then you see a female motorbike taxi driver, and it's being applied everywhere. I think you do see it, and the main important thing is having women integrated in roles, in decision-making roles. That's what changes the way things are. Making sure that they are involved. Let's say a very small community level, an informal settlement. If you're doing work related to education, work related to alleviating poverty, it's all about integrating women into the decision-making process. And I think one thing I do see is even though women have built careers, there's still, I would say there's still not getting rid of the guilt that they don't have to do everything. Because I've seen a lot of colleagues, for example, who are absolutely stunning at work. They do big important decisions, but they go home and they say they do all the household chores. So I really feel that at one point there also has to be a balance between roles, because women are accepting more entrepreneurial roles, and or they're building a career equal to men, but some of the basic household chores remain undivided. And I think if we as developing countries are able to kind of go beyond that and see how we can split this gender policed guilt that women still carry for not doing household chores. If we're able to go beyond that, I think we could also go ahead in a pathway to development. And this is something I generally notice in other developing countries. Yeah.
I'm not sure if everyone is shy in asking the question. So if anyone has any question, they could ask.
If not, then I can ask.
Yes.
So once again, happy Women's Day. So we hear from all of you about your past and present. So how your life's journey start, and what you are getting from your life, and what are you doing at present. But I also like to hear your future. I mean, I like to hear your future. So Fatema, you are running a boutique shop here in Bonn. So if students want to approach you, or if any special program for students specific, if you are running in future, just let us know. Swathi, you are running a yoga studio, is it in Düsseldorf?
I work for a yoga studio. It's not my own yoga studio, but anytime happy to.
Yeah, but
what
any...
type of, for students, what type of?
No, what kind of facilities you are providing for youngsters or students in any specific? Just I'm asking others, and that they can give the answer. Swathi, you are working in a yoga studio, and International Yoga Day is coming in 21st of June. Earlier days, as an association, we are also running the events, open events. But is there any specifically you have planned for this year, or your yoga studio is already planned? Just let us know. And Dr. Pratibha, you are coming all the way from Frankfurt, and you are also a Rajayoga teacher. So we also need a meditation in day-to-day life, because we, not only women but men also, we are also getting stress from other men or women. So how to make balance with the meditation? And for us, it's not always easy to approach Frankfurt. Is there anything online is available? Just let us know. And Shobana, you are working in UN Habitat. So is there any way for students to approach you? Or I guess the UN day is coming. in the summer in Bonn. Bonn is a United Nation hub. We have so many offices here in UN campus. So is there any way to approach you or United Nation events? I will start with Dr. Pratibha.
In reply to your question, we do organize some meditation courses, and they are normally free of charge. We don't charge. As a part of community service, we offer them. And these online courses, the information, I leave the information in small flyers at the back, and also leave my contact number, my visiting card with Daksh, if you can. And yeah, because I'll have to leave now because I'm coming from Frankfurt and we have the Shivratri celebration going on. So we have to, and happy Shivratri to all of you. And thank you for listening with so much of concentration and so much of patience. Really appreciate that. Yeah, and thank you too for conducting a very nice session.
Yes, before we get back to you with the advices, since Pratibha ma'am has to leave, let's call Daksha from here so that we can continue. Ask you about the advices you could give to the younger generation and students basically. It could be related to your field or something in common. So, anyone wants to answer now?
To work hard in your field and never lose hope, and just do it for you.
Perfect. And also, I think people could relate to what you said, ma'am. Sometimes you don't have to accept some things that are meant to be done by women, because nothing is meant to be done by anyone. You just do what you can do at most. Yeah.
And
Yes, ma'am. Do you want to add more?
I don't know if I mean the UN Bonn. I mean there are a lot of internship opportunities, but you have my email address, Rizvi. So if anyone is looking to build a career in international development, I'm happy to support them. And I mean it doesn't have to be women, all genders. And I think there's the Bonn UN Day, and usually there are the stalls we put up just for the public and students to kind of understand what UN Bonn does. Unfortunately, most UN internships don't pay. There are only a few agencies that do, but it's definitely worth the grind. So you can feel free to contact me, and if there are any internship opportunities, I'm happy to circulate to your email list as well.
Thank you.
And I also give courses, beauty courses. If anyone is interested, they can go to my website and all the information is written there. I will leave my visiting card.
Yes.
Always welcome.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think
Swathi.
ma'am, do you want to add some advice?
Not really, but
Yeah.
any details of mine, Shubha will be having it personally, and of course, every year along with the Frankfurt Indian Embassy, they do have collaborated with the Kannada Kuta, and my husband and other friends, they conduct in Leverkusen area International Yoga Day. This year not such very planned because summer holidays are also coming up, and if the weather is good, we prefer to be outdoor, which is free of cost, because when you book a hall, it's a little bit. But anytime, feel free to approach. Those who really want to do anything in your career, doesn't matter yoga or anything, don't stop yourself, and be calm, and with the love we can achieve everything. with aggressive mode, you can't issue anything. That's the only thing I would like to share. That's all.
Yeah, I think with this we can end most of our panel discussions because we didn't have many questions. And we'd like to facilitate everyone, but before that, I think Ms. Pratibha has to leave. So thank you so much for coming here.